Okay, can all the council members please take their seats, please? Hey, good evening, everyone. Notice of this meeting stating the date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975. Copies of the agenda are also posted on the city's website and Linden TV for the public. This meeting is now called to order. Mr. Clerk, can you please conduct a prayer and flag salute?
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to ask everybody to please remain standing for a moment of silence for the passing of former Governor Richard Coney. Please be seated. Okay. In the event of an emergency, the proper method of exiting the council chambers is through the 3 doors in the rear of the room. Occupants should proceed down the staircase, out the front door, and move away from the area of the front steps. Any member of the public wishing to speak during the public comment session at the end of the meeting, please sign in on the white sheets provided in the front of the room with your name and address. Please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate. If you must take a call, please leave the council chamber to do so. Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Ormond.
Here.
Javik. Present. Caldwell.
Excused.
Mohammed.
Excused.
Lott.
Present.
Delgado.
Excused.
Strano.
Here.
Armstead.
Excused.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Hudak.
Here.
Mrs. Yamikaitis.
Here. Okay, can we have approval of the public meeting minutes of December 16, 2026, please?
Madam President, I move for approval of the minutes of December 16th, 2025, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond.
Yes.
Javik.
Yes.
Lott. Abstain.
Strano.
Yes.
Rodriguez. Yes. Hudak.
Yes.
Mrs. Yamikaitis.
Yes. Okay, there are no ordinances on hearing this evening, so we'll move on to the consent agenda items. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member so requests. Tonight we have items number 1 through 7. Can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I make a motion that we accept consent agenda items 1 through 7 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond.
Yes.
Javik.
Yes.
Lott.
Yes.
Strano.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Hudak.
Yes.
Mrs. Yamikaitis.
Yes. We'll now move on to reports from members of the governing body. We'll start with Councilwoman Ormond.
Thank you, Council President. It's like, wow, that was quick. Okay, I'm going to start off with my budget review and finance report. Approval is requested for the following finance actions: the payment of bills totaling $1,658,918.54. Bills have been signed by the Mayor, Council President, and Finance Chairwoman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the clerk's office. We are in receipt of the investment made by the City Treasurer for the month of December at the rate of 4.09%. I move for approval and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond.
Yes.
Javik.
Yes.
Lott.
Yes.
Strano.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Hudak,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Okay, the Division of Transportation and Properties report. I hereby submit the monthly financial report from the Division of Transportation and Parking for the month of December 2025. This report includes collection of on and off-street parking meters, railroad parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant parking permits. Trenton site collections, $2,060. New York site collections, $1,396. Railroad credit card transactions, $25,549.96. Railroad permits, $4,440. Railroad mobile payments, 2320 parking, $15,985.10. Online railroad permits, $11,556. Parking meter collections, $5,378.25. Merchant permits, $6,500 for a grand total of $72,865.31, submitted by Frank E. Urban III, our parking meter and collector repair. My word report is going to be very simple. I would just like to start off by just saying Happy New Year to all the constituents in the First Ward, as well as the City of Linden. And I hope this new year is prosperous and healthy for all of you. I wanted to just spend a few moments talking about what the First Ward vision, or what my First Ward vision is, and hoping that we can all fulfill this simple vision. And it's one of friendliness, one of, empathy, one of caring for one another, and one of taking pride in our community. We have a large neighborhood, we've got a lot of people, we have a lot of kids. And one of the things that made me want to move into the First Ward was that it was just warm and friendly. Help your neighbor. Just the other day, just as a matter of fact, yesterday, there was so much snow and ice on the ground, and most of our residents shoveled their snow. A woman on the corner, she's a widow, didn't have anyone to shovel her snow. And she called me, and unfortunately I wasn't available, but I texted her, and she says, well, never mind, my son's going to come later on today. Well, as soon as I pulled up in front of my house, I said to my husband, tell your son to go put his boots on and grab his shovel. And we went down to the corner, and we shoveled Miss Karen's walkway, all the straight and around the corner. I was helping, I chopped, and then another neighbor came and started chopping ice, because at that point it got so cold. But collectively, her property was taken care of, because somebody could have fallen. But first and foremost, we're neighbors, and this is what neighbors are supposed to do for one another. It's our First Ward, and let's never forget that. I also want to talk about the cleanliness of the neighborhood. Everyone has received their sanitation schedule. Bulk day, cardboard day, recycle day, sanitation day. We know when those days are, and if you don't have a schedule, please reach out to me. I will make sure that you get one. It's really heartbreaking to see on the day that we're supposed to have sanitation, every can drug out to your corner or in front of your house with anything and everything in it. It's also disheartening when you see people just drag their bulk garbage out to the curb and leave it there, knowing that there's a bulk day for not until another month. It diminishes the beauty of our neighborhood. So I have spoken with DPW. I will be following up with our sanitation supervisors. If you do this, I will have them come out and knock on your door and just ask you to kindly follow the schedule. Multiple offenses, I cannot help if you're fined, but we want to keep the community looking beautiful. So on that note, let's love our First Ward, let's love each other, and let's treat each other with respect. As we go on through the new year, I will be just taking certain aspects of our government and what we do, and just educating you on it, how we do handicap parking, how we just do so many different things, because if you don't know, you just don't know. So once again, Happy New Year. Let's keep the First Ward warm, fuzzy, and beautiful, and most of all, let's keep it clean. That ends my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Orman. Councilman Javik.
Thank you, Council President. As chairman of the Fire Committee, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected the following monies during the month of December 2025, a total of $3,675.53. Regarding the Linden Fire Department Emergency Medical Service collections, the amount of $109,048.19 for December 2025 have been added to the total deposits for 2025, totaling $1,095,405.76. As a reminder also, the fire department, this Thursday, January 22nd, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the 7th Ward Recreation Center, which is at 2907 Tremley Point Road. We're having the Gary Latisse Blood Drive. For everybody in the audience, the flyers are on the table in the front. Regarding our construction code, this department has issued 221 permits and processed 92 certificates and has issued 51 summonses for the month of December 2025. Monthly revenue is as follows: building CCO permits and additional permit fees, $341,646. Zoning, $1,725. Court settlements for the month, $11,250. That reflective total being $354,621. Now referencing our Board of Health. On January 13, 2026, a raccoon demonstrated abnormal behavior was reported in the area of East Linden Avenue between South Park Avenue and Ashton Avenue. Officials located the raccoon and subsequently testing confirmed that the raccoon was positive for rabies. This information is being shared out of an abundance of caution. No additional cases have been reported, and this appears to be an isolated incident. We are asking residents living in the area to please report any direct human or pet contact with suspected rabid animals to the Linden Board of Health at 908-474-8409. During an emergency or during non-business hours, please contact the Linden Police Department by calling 908-474-8500 or by dialing 911. Residents should also avoid Residents should also avoid contact with and immediately report any wild or stray animals that exhibit potentially suspicious behaviors, such as abnormal aggression or tameness, nocturnal animals active in daytime, like bats or skunks, staggering or paralysis, excessive drooling, difficulty swallowing or eating. Rabies is a serious illness that can be fatal without treatment, but it is preventable with prompt medical treatment. Anyone who sees an animal acting strangely should stay away from it and call the Linden Board of Health or the Linden Police Department. Any humans or pets that are bitten or scratched by a wild animal, including stray dogs or cats, or come in contact with the saliva of a wild animal should wash the area with soap and water, be seen by a medical professional, and report the incident to the Linden Board of Health and the Linden Police Department. Please be reminded that Linden Board of Health ordinances prohibit the feeding of any wildlife, including stray dogs and cat. And as a reminder, there is still time to get the flu shots from the Board of Health. They're available for those that are uninsured, underinsured, or homebound. Please reach out again to the Board of Health at 908-474-8409 and ask to speak with one of our public health nurses. Good evening, everybody. So as a reminder, our City of Linden ordinances also require that all dogs be licensed with our clerk's office, written proof of rabies vaccination that is valid, and at least 10 months of the licensing year is required to obtain a dog license. Our Board of Health does hold 3 free rabies vaccination clinics each May at our firehouses throughout our city. In our second ward, West Elizabeth Avenue work is complete, except for resurfacing, which will be done by the spring. Also, potholes were filled on Donaldson Place with resurfacing to follow. Special thank you to our DPW for keeping our roads prepped, salted, and plowed during our ongoing winter storms. A little bit more time. Also, anyone anyone that did not get a new collection calendar for 2026, as Ms. Orman mentioned, please reach out to me in my ward and I'll get you one. I can be reached at 908-494-4608 or email me at bjavick@linden-newjersey.gov. On Facebook, Second Ward Councilman Barry Javick, and as always, additional information can be found on our City of Linden website. Council President, no report.
Thank you, Councilman Javik. Okay, Councilwoman Locke?
Greetings, everyone. I hope you're all in good spirits tonight. Again, I'm Dr. Kayla Lott. I am honored to serve as the councilwoman for the 5th Ward. I am still the new kid on the block, but I am already learning that there is one thing that our residents are never hesitating to do, and that is to advocate for our community, and I am truly appreciative of that. Since being sworn in, I have already begun receiving phone calls and messages from residents regarding a few concerns, including trash removal, snow and ice on sidewalks, and street cleanings. I want the residents to know that your concerns are being heard. With regard to street cleaning, I would like to clarify that during certain weather conditions, particularly when the temperatures are low, street cleaning is suspended due to safety concerns as water can freeze and create hazardous road conditions. Once weather conditions improve, street cleaning will resume accordingly, but street sweeping is still on. Special thanks to DPW for the tree trimmings this week in the 5th Ward. Thank you. I am also pleased to share that I will be hosting an upcoming 5th Ward community meeting. This meeting will provide an opportunity for residents to share their concerns, ask questions, and engage in open dialogue about issues impacting our neighborhood. Additional details will be shared soon, and I truly hope that all my residents can attend. In the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me directly, 908-718-7987. Thank you again for the warm welcome and trusting me to serve. Respectfully submitted.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Strato.
Thank you, Council President. The personnel report is in my hands here. Number one, in the municipal court, approving the 2026 salary for the Associate Municipal Court Judge Susan McMullen to $102,900 to cover additional court sessions. Two, in the police department, is approval of the voluntary resignation of Austin Urban, police recruit, effective December 29th of 2025. B is approval of the voluntary resignation of Andrea Hubchak, police recruit, effective January 5th of 2026. And C is approval of the appointment of 4 public safety telecommunicator trainees full-time from the attached list at the salary of $45,000 annually, effective February 9th of 2026, which is subject to the successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. In Department of Community Services and Division of Public Works, approving the appointment of Shane Gillette to the assignment of a recycling coordinator with a yearly stipend of $6,000, and that's effective January 21st of 2026. 4, in the Engineering Department, is approving the appointment of Marianne Shams, Assistant Engineer, full-time at the salary of $82,000, effective February 9th, 2025, subject to the successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. The city grants Ms. Shams a residency waiver, as this position has been repeatedly posted statewide. And 5, in the Personnel Department, is approving the vacation carryover for discussion of vacation carryover from 2025 per the attached list. That concludes the personnel report, and I move for approval, and I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik? Yes. Lott?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Go ahead, Councilman Strato.
Thank you. First, I want to recognize number 6 on our consent agenda. These are the retirements of Police Officer Michael Mikolajczyk, our Public Works Recycling Supervisor and Supervisor Ronnie Brower, Police Officer Anthony Favor, and Police Officer Gary Dudash, and in the Department of Community Services, Laura Sassarak. I want to congratulate them on their retirements, wish them well. And I just have to mention something about Laura, who everybody knows as Sissy, longtime friend and committee woman as well. She broke the glass ceiling, as it were, in the City of Linden. Her and another gal were the first women to be hired in Public Works Department, and she's proved her worth over and over and over again. Over the years, she took all the the hard tasks. She was not given any kind of special treatment. She did everything from picking garbage to trash and working landscaping jobs. Whatever it was that they asked her to do, she did. And I just want to commend her on a career. I think she started over 30 years ago. She's been, so she had quite a career. And I just want to wish them well. Also want to recognize our Department of Community Services for getting our guardrails up on the dead ends of Arthur Street, Irene Street, and West 12th. We still have to add reflective tape to them. Also in the Department of Community Services, I want to commend Joe Kroback, our senior engineer, for his acute sense to see an opportunity to get a return from the water company contractor, CRJ, for being allowed by the city to use the city landfill property as a staging area. He was able to negotiate a deal with them to get delivered crushed stone and graded out at the Hawk Rice parking lot at no cost to the city. Looks great, and I think this is the first time in memory that we received something in return for letting a utility company use our property. That concludes my report, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Strato. Councilman Rodriguez.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to echo what Councilwoman Armand said. After a snowstorm, please make sure you shovel and saw. I got a couple of complaints last week, yesterday, about residents not shoveling their snow in front of their house. It's a hazard for everybody, especially our seniors and our kids. So just please keep that in mind. I also want to thank Fire Department for coming out quickly. We had a wire down after the storm. They came out in a couple minutes and cut the wire, made sure everybody was safe. And for DPW for being out there on the weekend, salting, and well, there was really not much to shovel, but they were out there making sure the streets were clean and safe for us to keep walking and driving. For my ward, this year's gonna be a little different. I'm doing stuff a little different. We're planning a couple of things. I'm having a newsletter coming out next month too. I'm trying something out. You ask, I tell. So transparency is going to be my mantra, I guess. So yeah, it's a little short this week. That concludes my ward report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Rodriguez. Councilwoman Hudak?
Thank you. So as many of us sit in the days of our winter months, we find ourselves thinking about the new year. And I have so much to be grateful for in representing the 10th Ward. What strikes me the most is how many of our neighbors have embraced the idea that words never lose their value. See, in a world racing towards AI and automation, there's something profoundly countercultural about slowing down to show up at a city caucus meeting to speak directly to our departments. Every time someone shares their concerns, speaks to the issues about Sunnyside, it reminds me why this work matters, and I have grown because of all of you. I want to say thank you. Thank you for trusting me, supporting me, and sharing your concerns, thoughts, and progress, for being part of this community. Thank you for believing that words never lose their value. I'm excited to continue building this community with you, and I'm honored to be part of your story. And before I finish, I'd like to wish Mr. Ralph Strano a very happy birthday. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Okay, I have from Councilman Armstead, who is ill this evening and is not able to be here. He wanted me to mention about permit parking in the 8th Ward in the Bayway area. They're starting to put up the signs to include streets from Dennis Place, the rest of the ward from Dennis Place to Tuxedo Place, so the signs are going up. You'll be hearing from the police department about how to obtain a permit, but if you'd like to do it early, you can go online under the police department tab, scroll down, and it will say how to get an overnight parking permit, or you can come into the traffic bureau to obtain a permit. Also, we were at the Martin Luther King event yesterday at First Baptist Church, and we'd like to extend an invitation for the human trafficking and awareness training, which will be held this Saturday. The presentation is from 10 a.m., so all are invited. It's a very important topic. Many people think it doesn't happen here, but you never know. So it's an awareness training, and I encourage everyone to go. I'd just like to also take this opportunity to thank the American Legion. They hosted a party last night celebrating the special needs soccer team. All the children with Coach Alvarez, they received shirts, certificates. It's a very nice event that the veterans come out to support the special needs community. Many of our council members were there helping to serve food for them. So I just want to reach out and say thank you to them. Okay, Mayor Armstead is excused this evening as well. So we'll move on to resolutions this evening. Okay, Councilman Javik, we have resolutions 2026-713 through 2026, I believe it's 115. Okay, do we have a motion?
Well, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to table 2026-108
Remove.
and
Remove.
remove it. And also tabled 2026-110 and remove it for consideration and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Orman?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes?
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemekaitis?
Yes. Okay, on our resolutions this evening, we have some blank spaces there for appointments. For 2026, the council voted on this in caucus this evening. For 2026, number 17, the resolution appointed a council person as a member of the planning board. The council nominated Councilman Barry Javik. For 2026-2018, for the Linden District Corporation, SID, they also nominated Councilperson Barry Javik. And for 2026-20, for the Cultural and Heritage Committee, the nomination was Councilwoman Lisa Orman. Okay, can we have a motion for the resolutions that are
Yes, Council
remaining?
President. I move for approval of resolutions 2026-17 through 2026-115 and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Orman?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes?
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes, with the exception of the ones that were removed. And also I abstain on 2026-40 and 2026-63, and yes to the rest of them.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes, with the
Miss-
exceptions, the ones that were removed.
Mrs. Yemekaitis?
Yes. Okay, we'll now move on to ordinances on first reading. Okay, we're going to begin with ordinance 70-1, please.
An ordinance of the City of Linden establishing a tax exemption for totally disabled veterans.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 70-1 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes?
Lot?
Yes.
Strano? Rodriguez? Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemekaitis?
Yes. Okay, ordinance 70-2, please.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 7-46 entitled Train Station Parking Fees. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 7-46 entitled Train Station Parking Fees shall be amended as follows. Daily parking, $9 per day. Quarterly parking, $345 per quarter for a resident and $410 per quarter for non-residents.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction, please?
Yes, Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 70-2 and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes?
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez? Hudak? Mrs. Yemekaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 70-3, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-35.7, entitled Regulations for Parking in Municipal Parking Lots Adjoining the Railroad, shall be amended as follows. Delete subparagraphs B and C. Subparagraphs D should be renamed B.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction, please, of ordinance 70-3?
Council President, I make a motion to introduce ordinance 70-3 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 70-4.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 13 rental property of an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23, 1999, and approved November 24, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, delete Chapter 13 entitled Rental Property in its entirety, and add new section, new Chapter 13 entitled Rental Properties.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 70-4, please?
Yes, Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 70-4 and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 70-5.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 2.12.10 entitled Off-Duty Employment of Police Officers for Police-Related Activities by the City Council of the City of Linden. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, Chapter 2-12.10 entitled Off-Duty Employment of Police Officers for Police-Related Activities shall be amended.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 70-5, please?
Council President, I make a motion to introduce ordinance 70-5 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 70-6, please.
An ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Establishing a Schedule of Titles, Salary Ranges, and Regulations for Maintaining the Classification and Salary Standardization Plan of all employees of the City of Linden, passed August 15, 1995, and approved August 16, 1995, adopting Salary Schedule 1 UU1.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 70-6, please?
Yes, Council President, I move ordinance 70-6 for introduction and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 70-7, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Linden, the County of Union, State of New Jersey, authorizing the acquisition of properties identified on the tax maps of the City of Linden as Block 212, lots 24.05 for public use.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 70-7, please?
Council President, I make a motion to introduce ordinance 70-7 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Okay.
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we'll now move on to comments from members of the public in attendance on city business only. No personal, political, or derogatory comments, please. Not to exceed 3 minutes. Begin with Mr. Craig Halloran. Please state your name and address for the record.
Craig Heller, 120 Donaldson Place. First of all, I have to say that any comments I make here are my personal comments that have no connection in any way, shape, and/or form to the Board of Education. I just wanted to apologize for my comment at the last meeting, and that I thank Councilwoman Orman and Barry Javik for correcting me on my lack of protocol at the last meeting. So thank you. I would also like to, say that, I'm looking forward again to a great year of working with this fine board up here, the council, and any other city employees that I run into. And again, we're all in this to make the city the best city that it can be. So we're here together. Let's get it working. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Halloran, for your comments. Okay, Virginia Malik.
Virginia Malik, Lenape Road. The comments I'll be talking about is traffic within our city, and I also mentioned these at the pre-council meeting, the caucus meeting. This past Friday, which was January 16th, I was pulling out of my driveway. I looked down the street, about 5 houses down. A Hasidic Jewish bus was picking up their students far enough away that by the time that I backed out of my driveway, I looked over my right-hand shoulder, and sure enough, the bus is trying to pass between me and the sidewalk. I have already spoken to the chief of police, and I'm filing a complaint about this. This is absolutely inexcusable. The other things I'll be speaking later on in the year is about traffic, speeding on our streets. They put these stop signs in there. The stop signs is because maybe they're afraid that the bus wants to stop and pick up all their students. That's fine. People should be stopping for that. On certain streets, people are making U-turns at a 4-way stop. So they want to put a 4-way stop. That means that you stop. You're not going to be turning in front of other people. I find that on DeWitt, also on Orchard Terrace, there's a lot of bus stops on that street, and both in the morning and in the afternoon. I'm finding that I was told that the parents are supposed to come to the street and to bring their child down there. What I'm finding is that's holding up the traffic, that the bus stops, they wait for the parent to open the door and the child to walk down to where the street is. I'm not sure what's really happening here, but it's happening quite often. And there's even situations where they're using these private black buses to pick up students. And there's been cases where I found the driver walking across the street to pick up the student. Why couldn't the mother of this child cross the street to bring the bus, instead of having the bus driver stop the traffic in the middle of the road? There's more comments I'll be making in the future. My last comment I want to make with Mr. Ormond talking about older people and shoveling snow, I want to give a shout out to Tawanda Passmore and her husband and son for 2 times over the weekend coming to my rescue and shoveling my walk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Malik. And as we mentioned in caucus, we'll have the
I
chief.
couldn't hear you.
As we mentioned in the caucus meeting, we'll have the chief reach out to you again regarding.
Right, but also I
or
even
somebody
spoke
from
to
traffic.
the superintendent of schools about the situation.
Okay. All right, thank you. Judy Byron? Could you put the microphone closer? Thank you. Hold on 1 second.
Sorry.
There you go.
Okay. Should I say it one more time?
Yes.
My name is Judy Byron, and my address is 10 Colonial Road. I spoke a little less than a year ago at the council meeting about the unsafe conditions at the intersection of Gibbon Street and Keep Street. It is an intersection that gets a lot of traffic because people are trying to beat the light at the corner of Stiles and St. George. Either they turn down Keep Street, which they should not do because of the no left turn sign, which they ignore, or they turn at Gibbons, and because they are in a hurry, they go way over the 25-mile speed limit and ignore the stop sign. I received a CAD report from the city clerk's office, which showed that there were 4 accidents from June of 24 to February of 25, and 3 of those were with injuries. At one of those accidents, 2 neighborhood girls were getting ready to cross the street, and if they had been a minute earlier, they would have gotten seriously hurt. There are ways the safety of this intersection can be improved. Installing speed bumps is the best safety measure because they slow people down from speeding and it makes them stop at the stop signs. I was told that it was not feasible because of emergency vehicles, but other towns have speed bumps and they have emergency vehicles, so I don't really understand what the problem is. Another easy and cost-effective option is to put a barrier at the corner of Keep and Curtis so people cannot use that as a shortcut. They did that on Elm and Arudo for the same reason, and it's working. In fact, when my son and I were going around getting signatures for a petition, several of the neighbors said a year or so ago, a couple of traffic officers came around and they were asking the neighbors if they would be in favor of doing that at their corner on Keep Street. The neighbor said it would be a great idea because no one pays attention to the no left turn sign, and they just speed down Keep Street to St. George, and there have been multiple accidents. But they said after that, they never heard anything about it again. Four-way lighted stop signs have also been going up all over Linden. Many intersections have 8 stop signs, 2 on each corner, with solar blinking lights. These measures have a huge impact on the safety of an intersection. In the summer, they put up a temporary electric sign that said, "Stop sign ahead, full stop required." It was there for about a week to 10 days, and when they came to remove it, the police officer told one of the neighbors that it didn't help. People are still going through the stop sign. To me, that means something needs to be done. I looked up where some of the council members lived, and 3 have 4-way stops with 8 stop signs, 2 are on one-way streets, and 3 are on dead ends. The only reason I mention this is because it shows you care about your families and you want it to be safe for them. That's what these people want too, and they voted for you because they felt that you understand and will do something to help them feel safer in their neighborhood. There are a lot of people that walk, ride bikes, and drive through that intersection, and I truly hope something is done before anyone gets seriously hurt. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. I'm going to have this referred back to committee again, review.
Okay.
All right, especially with the statistics. Okay, Councilwoman? Okay, Mr. Kazor?
All right, good evening. Happy New Year, everybody. John Kaiser, Linden. Last spring, this council took what looked like a meaningful step forward. You were set to vote on zoning amendments, ordinances 6928 and 6929. That vote signaled that a serious process was underway. These ordinances didn't come out of nowhere. They were introduced. They were amended not once but twice. They were sent to the planning board. The planning board reviewed them and voted yes. They cleared every hurdle placed in front of them. They did what they were supposed to do. They came back here for action, and then nothing. Month after month they were tabled, no final vote, no resolution, just silence. City Hall was packed that night last year. People showed up in force, arguing that these ordinances unfairly targeted them. The pressure was real. Litigation was threatened, and this process stalled. But so did the responsibility of this body to lead, because I'm often the administration's harshest critic. The mayor assumed I was against these ordinances. When he learned that I actually supported them, he was surprised. And that matters, because this was never about politics. It wasn't about personalities. It was about doing the work and seeing the process through. These were not abstract ideas. They became ordinances. They had numbers, 28 and 29. One set the standards. The other set the rules on how those standards would be applied. Together, they were a complete package. They were drafted, refined, they were vetted, they were approved by the planning board, and then they were sent here and they simply died. Leadership is not moving something forward halfway. Leadership is finishing the job even when it's uncomfortable. What we ended up with was wasted time, wasted energy, and a process that told residents, show up, engage, follow along, and in the end, nothing. And that leads to a broader question. The residents who packed City Hall last year made themselves heard without saying a word. Pressure was applied, and then litigation was threatened, and the process stopped. What about the residents on the other side? The neighbors who feel crowded because their streets and neighborhoods are changing in ways they never agreed to. Do they also need to threaten litigation to be taken seriously? Is that now the standard in Linden to be heard? Because a government that only moves when it's scared is not leading, it's reacting. Now, whether these amendments were to pass or to fail, that's not the point. They deserved a final vote. What they did not deserve was to be buried. Linden deserves a government that does not blink under pressure and does not leave important business in permanent limbo. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, Alphonsek. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, everyone.
Please state your address for the name and address.
Yes,
for
I
the
got
record.
you. Louis Fonseca, 619 Fernwood Terrace.
Go ahead, sir.
Hi, everyone. I hope you all had a great evening. I'd like to start by stating my disappointment of this local government and it looks more of like a nepotistic monarchy. And while one family takes in $1.8 million a year in taxpayer money, our kids suffer. We have a math proficiency of 19%. Where's the empathy for that, Ms. Ormond? These council meetings are once a month, and of course, the mayor can't make it. What a pity. Public officials serve the public and not the other way around. I guess that's what happens when the mayor's been in office for a decade. 10th Ward Councilwoman, words don't lose value. You stated how it touches your heart when people show up to the caucus meetings. Well, it would touch my heart if the mayor would turn up too. If you guys all showed up to these meetings as well, it would touch my heart if the city would work with the Board of Ed to push for our kids to do better. It would touch my heart if we allowed laws for nepotism that are actually followed. And that's it for my time.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Okay, can we have a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting, please?
So moved.
Can we have a second, please?
Second?
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
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 Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakai?
Yes. All right. The next council meetings will be as follows. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting, Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, at 5 p.m. in the council conference room, City Hall. Council meeting Tuesday, February 17th, at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, City Hall. These meetings will be held in person. Can we have a motion to adjourn, please?
Council
Motion.
President, make a motion to adjourn and ask for a
Second.
second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Lot? Strano?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Have a good evening, everyone.